All right, gather around, partner, because what we've got here is darker than a coal mine on a moonless night. You're about to hear the tale of Hawk Tuah, a living meme who tried her hand at being a so-called crypto queen who swindled more folks than a snake oil salesman selling deep-fried Twinkies at a county fair. This ain't your run-of-the-mill scam, oh no. This is the kind of operation that makes the wildest, most twisted con artist blush. We're talking about pre-sale dumps, shady tokenomics, and enough insider dealings to make a poker game look like a fucking straight flush. This story is a high-speed train heading straight for a cliff, and you're about to watch it all unfold. Buckle up, because it's about to get real strange. And let me just say that everything I'm going to be talking about is alleged and of my opinion. Now, Hawk Tuah and her shiny new shitcoin Hotcoin were all the rage for a hot minute. A fresh ticket to ride the crypto wave, and she had every sucker in town thinking she was handing out golden tickets like it was Halloween. She pitched it as the future of finance, the golden calf of the digital age. And oh, did people buy it. They threw their money at her coin faster than a tumbleweed in a desert storm. $500 million was raised in the matter of minutes of public release. That's the sum we're talking, $500 million. Enough to buy an entire fleet of private jets and still have change to spare. But here's the kicker. It was all built on sand. No foundation, no solid ground, just a big old illusion. And when the dust settled, what did folks get? A lot of empty pockets and some broken dreams. So let's break it down one twisted piece at a time. First off, we've got this thing called pre-sale exploitation. Now, what's that, you ask? Well, while the everyday folks were lining up like cattle at a slaughterhouse, Hawk and her cronies were already sitting pretty, selling off their stash before anyone else even knew what was going down. They were pre-saled tokens to insiders, making a pretty penny, all while waving their hands saying, oh no, we haven't sold any tokens yet, trust us. But once the gates opened, they dumped their bags of tokens like they were hot potatoes, leaving the rest of y'all stuck holding the bag. Think of it like a cowboy selling you a horse and galloping off into the sunset before you even realize it's got 3 legs. Now, you might think, well, that's just the way the game's played, right? Nope, it gets worse. Hawk Tuah and her crew promised lock tokens. Tokens that would be locked up for a while to keep the price stable. But surprise, surprise, they handed out unlocked tokens to insiders like they were handing out candy at a parade. They had full access from day one, and guess what they did with that? They dumped those tokens faster than a rattlesnake sheds its skin, all while the rest of y'all was sitting there with the short end of the stick. It was a classic case of misdirection. Look over here at all the promises, while they filled their pockets with cash from unsuspecting folks. Now, let's talk about who they were really targeting. The marketing was slick, partner. They went after the normies, the folks who didn't know their blockchain from a busted down wagon wheel. They wrapped this whole thing in shiny gold foil and sold it to people who, had no idea what they were really getting into. Picture this. You're a fresh-faced newbie, and someone walks up to you at a rodeo, tells you they've got the next big thing, and before you know it, you're plopping down your life savings, thinking you've just bought into the next Apple or Tesla. Turns out, you just bought a one-way ticket to a bad town. But don't worry, they didn't leave you high and dry without charging your arm and a leg. No, they slapped you with high fees, and not just any fees. They wrapped those bad boys in the excuse that they were protecting against snipers. Yeah, snipers sounds like something out of a Western, doesn't it? For the dummies out there, snipers are people who use bots to go in and buy up a ton of crypto early when it's low, and then jump ship when it bounces higher. But here's the thing. Those fees weren't stopping any snipers. They were just making the people running the show richer. They turned the trading fees into a money printing machine while you got stuck paying for the privilege of watching your investment bleed out. And who was behind all this mess? Well, good old Haley Welch was right there in the thick of it, or so she claimed. She said she was just in it for the community, right? But here's the rub. Allegedly, she was set to rake in 50% of the net proceeds. That's half of the loot, partner. So while she was claiming innocence, the rest of the gang was sitting back, laughing all the way to the bank. She's over there in the corner of the saloon, acting like she's just here for the fun, while secretly filling her pockets with her hard-earned cash. Now, the real fun happens when you look at the community betrayal. These folks were out there saying they were building a long-term project, creating a foundation for the future, right? Yeah, right. This wasn't a project for the long haul. It was a quick smash and grab job. Once they had their hands in the cookie jar, they weren't interested in sticking around. No, they were already planning their next gig. You got played. They promised one thing and delivered another, leaving you sitting there like a cowboy whose horse ran off while he was busy looking at the stars. And when the heat started coming down, guess how they responded? Not with answers. Oh no, they dodged like a snake in the grass. When people started asking hard questions about who really profited from all the fees and pre-sales, crickets. Their answers were as transparent as a foggy window. Oh, we're still working on things, they'd say. Meanwhile, their pockets got fatter while the communities got emptier. And then, just when you think this mess can't get any weirder, the project leaders took to Twitter Spaces. Live Q&A sessions, y'all. And how did they handle the pressure? Like a pack of coyotes who just realized the hunters were closing in. They started insulting people, deflecting questions, and generally acting like the whole thing was just a big joke. They couldn't even pretend to be professional about it. Oh, it's like a bunch of cowards in a bar fight. Loud, obnoxious, and completely missing the point.
This is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
Okay, so there's tokens going directly from the main account.
CoffeeZilla, just chill for a second.
And then it's getting sold for $50K. Who is that?
Definitely not us. You think we're doing this for $50K? Yeah, fucking right. Talking to the wrong guy. You're used to these bullshit scammers out here. Not us. Now, we had...
That's what everyone says, by the way.
Listen, doesn't matter. No, I'm not everyone.
So, what's the bottom line, partner? Hawk Tuah and her crew allegedly pulled off one of the slickest, most twisted scams in recent memory. They promised you the moon and gave you a pile of dust. They fed you lies, took your money, and rode off into the sunset with their pockets full of gold. And the sad part? This ain't even the first time it's happened. It's like a never-ending cycle of hope, greed, and betrayal in the wild west of crypto. If you think you're going to see the last of scams like this, think again. There's always another coin, another pitch, another group of slick talkers waiting to take your cash. They'll do it with a smile, and they'll absolutely do it again. So what's the lesson here? Trust no one, keep your wallet locked up tighter than a rattlesnake's jaw, and never forget, if something sounds too good to be true, it's probably a hawk coin waiting to burn you. Stay sharp, partner. The world of crypto can be a dangerous place, and there's always a scammer working behind the next shiny coin.
Y'all really thought I was done? I'm just getting started, baby.